Namaste. You will agree, most of us many times get disturbed by our mind. We want that peace within. And we come to know about this only when we realize how overloaded, how burdened our mind is in this material life, wanting more and more. Wanting more and more. Conditioned through centuries, prejudiced and biased. Sorry, I don't think it's possible. Howsoever we may try through whatever methods and techniques motivational speakers to spiritual artists may give us, it's very short-lived to declutter or still the mind. Meditation, yes, consciously you might do it for a short while, and gradually when it becomes a routine, it becomes monotonous subconsciously. You are meditating, you're not serious about it, again your mind runs amok. Forget that, even in sleep you can't sleep properly. Your thoughts keep running amok here and there. Most of us can't sleep properly. There are of course a few who have deep sleep, but most of us have dream sleep, short sleep, disturbing our health, mentally as well as physically. So, you cannot control this mind for long. It's an uncontrollable operating system. It is not like a computer which you can switch off as and when you feel like. You can't do it. Why? Why can't you do it? Very simple, in short. You are being used by your mind instead of using it. It is yours, but you're a puppet of it. All because of your ceaseless, incessant desires. All because of multitasking. All because of being stuck in the past and lost in the future. So, with intention, sorry. With restriction, sorry. With resistance, sorry. Not with these factors. Not with these efforts of resisting, exercising, putting restrictions. No, we can't do it. It's your thinking material mind. Material. It sees materiality all around. Exposed to all the advertising and all the marketing by these spiritual masters trying to give you magic. There is no such thing as magic. Reality does not understand magic. Reality understands logic, practicality. Can't do it. Spiritually, yes, to a large extent. You do not control your mind. Sorry. You just do not identify with your mind. You do not take yourself as the mind. You are now disidentified. So, the most important factor in obtaining that peace within is to watch and witness the mind in all its thoughts, feelings, and its doing. Be a witness. Being a witness is the utmost supreme spiritual factor. In Hinduism, you are called the Sakshi. You are called the witnesser. There is no spiritual name and identity given to you. That's by the material mind. You are called the witnesser. To be spiritual is to go towards higher consciousness. What is higher consciousness? Witnessing. Witnessing your own mind. Going towards the soul. And what is the soul? It is the witnessing consciousness. And even science today accepts this fact in their principle of, or doctrine of, the observer effect, as to how it influences, how observation influences your reality, how it changes the phenomenon after you observe. Your other senses may deceive you, but observation, impersonal and impartial and impersonal witnessing, is that divine within you. It's that thou art that. So the moment you stop identifying with that burdened mind, that overloaded mind, stop identifying and you start watching it, what happens? It becomes more and more conscious. And when it becomes conscious, your subconsciousness, your auto mind starts reducing, your uncontrollable mind starts simmering, and you're conscious of all what you think, feel, and should do, which itself effortlessly, with this spiritual routine, not any effort, spiritual routine of watching, which is effortless, brings in that peace which you yearn for. Yes, of course, besides the spiritual factor, there are some other factors also, mental factors, which you may do, or which you may auto-suggest to your mind. Not to compare, not to criticize, not to condemn others, not to judge. Keep judging others. You're not a judge. Of course, I'm not talking about those who are actual judges. They also are restricted with their clauses and sections and evidence given by a witness. A witness who is uninvolved and unaffected on the incident which the judge is supposed to give his judgment. Even their witnessing is taken as a very important factor. So you can understand the spiritual witnessing that I'm talking about. That God within. You are the witnesser. Witness is the spirit. Witnesser is the soul. Witnessing is through mind on the witnessed. So when you're doing it impartially and impersonally, the witnesser witnessing the witnessed becomes one, and spirituality understands only one, in oneness, nothing else. So that's how it is. So don't try to change the environment. If you want peace, change yourself. After being aware, and awareness comes only through witnessing. When your mind is alert, it becomes aware. And how does it become alert? When you constantly observe, you're alert of everything that is happening around. Witnessing begins. Witnessing begins. And in short, it is referred to as awakening of the witnesser, awakening of the soul. Awakening of the soul. You can't awaken your soul through efforts, through meditation, through japa, through mantra, through all those things. No, sorry. That is meant for the physical and the mental self. This is not meant for... So, again, mentally, if you reduce running after mental, let's say, financial security, we're all insecure. We want more. Accumulate. If we start bringing in contentment, if we ought to suggest that we have enough, there's a limit to everything. Within limit, desire is healthy, mentally and physically. But when you go beyond limits of anything, it becomes unhealthy. Then materially, we are all chasing perfection, never realizing the moon is not perfect, the sun is not perfect, Mother Nature is not perfect. Then why should we, for the sake of our ego, run after perfection all the time? It's a disease. You'll have to learn the art of imperfection. Slight, of course. I'm not saying be fully imperfect, sorry. I'm saying don't run after perfection. Because most of us, especially the intelligent ones, the above average ones, their ego is bigger. Just because they are more intelligent, they think they're more superior. Or just because they know more through their intellect, they feel they're superior. And they seek perfection in all that they want to do, in all that they think. So, you can think of forgiveness. The moment you forgive, your ego starts surrendering. You do not surrender, but inwardly your ego surrenders. Then I remember I wrote a book titled as, I love this phrase, the title of this book. Think from the heart and love from the mind. Because we do not know how to do that. When we love from the heart, what do we get in return? Bouts of happiness and sadness. Because after every stage of happiness, there's a shadow of sadness lurking behind. And what does sadness bring in? Tears. So when you love from the heart, it's frivolous, it's temporary. It's not everlasting. There's no peace in it. There's a tussle between happiness and sadness. You can't avoid any. You cannot say, no, I don't want sadness, I only want happiness. It won't happen that way. Howsoever intelligent you may be, howsoever perfect you may be, it cannot. Then another thing I learned in life. I used to crave for company. Crave for people around me. Now, I sit silently, not wanting to speak to others, only for the sake of pleasing them or getting an applaud from them. Sorry. I want to speak alone. Alone. And I speak what I wish to speak, correct or not correct, or incorrect, whatever you may say. And here I am, enjoying my aloneness. In a crowd, I'm lonely. There's a loneliness. It's not me. It's my mind trying to show off its superiority. It thinks it's very superior, always trying to prove that I'm smarter than you. That brings in loneliness. Now I enjoy my own company. My aloneness. Aloneness is far superior to loneliness. Aloneness brings in that silence which is golden, which is a diamond. Silence. It gives you time to contemplate. It gives it gives your mind time to contemplate, to introspect. So, mentally I've given you all these fundamental rules of bringing in the peace. Spiritually there's only one. Watch and witness your thoughts. Watch and witness your thoughts. Do not believe blindly. Only retarded people. Retarded means, according to me, less developed through their mind. Only retarded people believe blindly and become followers of whatever they read, whatever they listen, whatever a experienced person is trying to tell you out of his own experiences, not your experiences. And you feel, wow. And you start quoting him. Every book that you read, every lecture that you listen, everything, each person is quoting one another. It's their experiences. And I'm a simple man in my simplicity. Why should I? My mind should be free, not cluttered with others. Knowledge, exhausted knowledge, past knowledge, scriptures, doctrine. Sorry. I have to follow my own path, watching and witnessing myself. Witnessing myself has another beautiful word attached to it. It's called opening of your third eye. Opening of your third eye. There's one another factor I've not mentioned. Practice non-attachment. I realize how fast we get attached to whatever we desire, whatever we like. And the word we use for that is emotions. emotions. Emotions inculcates attachments. Practice non-attachment. So there are mental ways of bringing in peace, which I have given you so many. And there's one spiritual way. The ultimate, the best, the utmost, the God. That wave of air energy which gets activated or awakens only when you witness. Otherwise, like it is said in our spiritual books, that the mind is asleep even while it is awake. While the mind is playing the drama of life called Leela, by the Hindus, Leela, you are asleep. That's why it's making you dance the way it wishes you to dance. It makes you cry, it makes you happy as and when the mind feels like. If it gets what it wants, it is happy. If it does not, it is unhappy. So simple formula. You are happy when you get something, you are unhappy when you don't get something. So, the third eye is closed. The aware energy, in spiritual terms, it is who you are. Your body and mind is the quantum of what you are, not who you are. Your mom and dad may not agree because they have given you the name and identity and your religion and your caste and your creed and what not they have given you. They might not agree. They'll say no. But spiritually, everything is one. Universal aware energy, and that's who you are. It's only because of that awareness, that aware energy sitting within you, which you can witness, which does not do anything else. It's just witnesses. It's just witnesses to make your mind aware, to check and guide your mind, because mind is an uncontrollable system, operating system. So, spiritually, you have to awaken that divine within, that potentiality within. If you really, seriously wish for that peace within. Thank you very much.